Hi, I'm Dave Akins with Savvy Optics Corp, and this video is going to be demonstrating a transmitted light method 1 scratch and dig inspection. Now for this demonstration, I'm going to use our newest product, the Savvy Optics Light Bar. And this was designed specifically to do the transmitted light method 1 inspection that's described in the MIL, ANSI, and ISO standards. Now this can be used as a standalone device sitting on a benchtop, or it can be used, better yet, inside a Savvy black box, so you get a nice dark surrounding for better inspection. If you've taken my class, you know that transmitted light method 1 involves looking through a part against a comparison standard and looking at it against a series of bright and dark bars. So what we've done is we've created a light bar surrounded by black bars that gives us a beautiful viewing condition for transmitted light method 1. Now when I'm setting up my system, of course, I'm going to have to verify that the light level is acceptable. So I'll use my photometer here. And this has to be less than 360 lux, which is not very much. There we go. That'll do. And now I'm going to go ahead and inspect my part. Here's my plano convex lens. I'll go ahead and put it in the light box. And I can see, as soon as I put it in actually, I see a fairly bright skip scratch. So I'm going to go ahead and position that skip scratch so that it's close to the edge between the light bar and the black bar. And I'm going to tip and tilt it to get maximum visibility, just like you would with any scratch inspection. Then I'm going to go ahead and compare it to the comparison standard. It's certainly higher than the number 60. It's higher than the number 80 as well. So I'm going to call that skip scratch a 100, which would cause it to fail an 80/50 spec. I just noticed that there's a nice dig right next to it, so I'm going to go ahead and take a look at that dig. Now when I'm looking at digs, I'm going to inspect it in the same way, right at that light bar, but I'm going to be looking for apparent size instead of brightness. So in this case, I just grabbed the number 40, and it looks like a pretty good match. But I'll just check the number 50 just to be sure. Sure enough, the number 50 sample is larger than the dig, so I'm going to call that a number 40 dig. That's how you do transmitted light method 1. I could do more scratches that are on the surface, but I don't need to. I know the part already fails 80/50. That's it. Thanks for watching.
Okay, I'm not going to stop it, but I am going to go closer up, and can you almost pick up exactly from here's a scratch,
Okay, I'll try.
and I'll see if I can get a close-up of that. Just do like the same script.
Okay, so now that I've got my light bar all set up, I'm going to go ahead and put my part inside the box. And I'm going to look through the part against this black background, and as soon as I put the part in, I can see a skip scratch that's fairly bright.
Okay, that's not going to work. All I'm seeing is your hands, but it's okay. It's okay. We're going to keep at it until we figure it out. Okay, that's good. So anyway, start
over?
Yeah, just from there. I'm still running it.
So now that the light's all set up, I'm going to go ahead and take my plano convex lens, and I'm going to put it in the box, and I'm going to put it fairly close to that light source, and I can rotate it to find scratches, and I can see, as soon as I put it in, I can see a fairly bright skip scratch. So I'm going to go ahead and orient that skip scratch so that it's close to the edge between the bright and dark bars, and I'm going to tip and tilt it to get maximum visibility. So that's probably pretty good. And then I'm going to go ahead and visually compare that to the comparison standard. I can see that skip scratch is way brighter than the number 60. Try the number 80. And the skip scratch is brighter than the number 80. So I'm going to call that a 100. So this part would fail 80/50. Now I actually just noticed that there's another dig right next to it that I can go ahead and get a grade on. So I'll go ahead and get a grade on the dig. I'm going to position it as before, putting the dig fairly close to the edge between the bright and dark bands. And I just grabbed the number 40 dig sample, and sure enough, that looks like a pretty good match. I'll go ahead and check the 50 just in case. And I can see that the number 50 is clearly bigger than that dig. So I'm going to go ahead and call that dig a number 40. That's how you would do an inspection for transmitted light method 1. Thanks.
Okay, I want to try one more thing because that was pretty good. I'm going to just leave it running though. I'm going to try it from this side and see if I can really get in and actually see what you're seeing. So if you can, let's see, where are we? So,
Can you see it?
I actually, I don't see a scratch, but it does, I can see pits and digs and little things.
Okay.
And can you hold the comparison sample next to it, but try not to block the view? Okay, move it down a little bit. I know so I can see the.
Which
Okay.
way? What do you mean?
And try and hold it at the edge of your hand like this. So
Which hand?
your left hand is in front of the sample. Yeah, there you go. So now move the whole piece of glass down just a little bit.
Why?
Just trust me. Move the whole thing down just a little bit. There you go. That looks good. And now wiggle it back and forth like you're doing an inspection. Okay, good enough. Now do the same thing with the dig, please. And again, your hand has to be, you have to hold it on the edge. And now move it down a little bit. Down a little bit more. Okay, now wiggle it back and forth like you're doing an inspection. Okay, I think that'll have to be good enough.
Okay.